Chemical reactions and its types. There are four different types of chemical reactions: synthesis reaction, decomposition, displacement, and combustion reaction. We are going to study in detail synthesis reaction. Synthesis reaction can be defined as a reaction where two reactants combine to make a larger, more complex product. We can define a synthesis reaction as a reaction where two reactants combine. As here you can see, these are the two reactants. They combine to make a larger, more complex product. A and B join together to form the AB. So they are going to form a more larger, more complex product in the synthesis reaction. Here are some examples of the synthesis reaction. What is the general equation for the synthesis reaction? A and B, they join together to form AB. So reactants join together to form a more complex product, that is the AB. Here in this example, you can see carbon plus two molecules of oxygen. They join together to form carbon dioxide. So why it is known as a synthesis reaction? Because synthesis reaction is also known as combination reaction. Here you can see atoms or molecules, they are joining together to form carbon dioxide, that is a more complex compound. In another example, you can see hydrogen reacts with oxygen and there is the formation of water. When hydrogen combines with oxygen, it results in the formation of water. It is also an example of the synthesis reaction, that is also known as combination reaction. Why? Because atoms or molecules, they join together to form a more complex compound. A synthesis reaction occurs when two different atoms or molecules interact to form a different molecule or compound. Most of the time, when a synthesis reaction occurs, energy is released and the reaction is exothermic. Mostly we are going to call synthesis reaction as an exothermic reaction. Why? Because when two compounds join together, they result in the formation of, in the release of energy. However, an endothermic outcome is also possible. Synthesis reactions are one of the major classes of chemical reactions with some other types of the chemical reactions. You can see here the examples of the synthesis reaction. For example, when magnesium reacts with oxygen, magnesium and oxygen are the reactants. As you all know that whenever we are going to describe elements, we mostly use a chemical reaction to show the reactions. We want to show the reactions, we use chemical equations. In a chemical equations, there are reactants and there are products. So reactants are joined together, they combine together, they result in the formation of more complex product. So this is an example of this synthesis reaction. As magnesium and oxygen, they join together to form magnesium oxide. Same is the case over here. When magnesium, iron and oxygen are joining together, they result in the formation of iron oxide. And there are some other examples. For example, copper and oxygen, they join together to form copper oxide. So these are the different examples. Here you can see some other examples of the synthesis reaction. Here you can see some more complex compounds like sulfur dioxide. It reacts with water to form sulfuric acid. When sulfur dioxide reacts with water, it results in the formation of sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid is a more complex compound than these two. In the second example, you can see barium oxide. It reacts with water to form barium hydroxide. Again, it is more complex than barium oxide and water. Barium oxide and water join together to form barium hydroxide. In the next example, sodium oxide reacts with carbon dioxide to form sodium carbonate. Calcium oxide reacts with sulfur dioxide to form calcium sulfate. And these all are the examples of the synthesis reaction. As you all can see, two reactants, they join together to form a product, and product is more complex than the reactants. So these are known as the synthesis reaction, and it is one of the major class of the different types of chemical reaction.